Hello and welcome. My name's Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind The Country Chic Cottage. So I get asked all the time how to make shirts like the one I'm wearing that have a white background on something darker. I'm going to show you how to do that today. We're going to use a couple of different products so I can show you the pros and cons of both, and you can make a decision on which one will work for you. So what are we going to use today? So I'm going to use Screenprint transfers from Supacolor, and I'm also going to use custom heat transfers from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Now Heat Transfer Warehouse sells both of these, and there are some differences between the product and how to apply it. So what exactly are each of these? So the Supacolor product combines screen printing with heat transfer. So screen printing is with ink and you lay it down onto a shirt. This basically applies the ink to a film and you apply it using heat to your shirt. Now once it's applied to your shirt, it does feel more like a HTV, so it does sit on top of your shirt. It is not like sublimation. So white ink is not sublimatable. There is no such thing as white sublimation ink. That's why you need a screen print transfer, custom printed heat transfer, like we're going to talk about, something where there can be white ink, which is where Supacolor comes in. Now, if you want to do a dark shirt with white on it, this definitely might be for you, especially if the design is super complicated and you can't make it out of regular HTV. In this case, could I make this out of HTV? Probably. I could just layer up a design. However, if I wanted it to be super quick and easy and precise, I would get that with a Supacolor transfer or the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse. So both of them look similar. However, the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse is actually more like a professionally printed HTV. So you can buy printable HTV that you can print at home with your inkjet printer, but it fades significantly as it runs through the laundry. This professionally printed heat transfer will last much longer. So both of these will basically last the life of the garment when applied correctly. So that is a note we're going to talk about in a minute. When applied correctly, these will both basically last the life of the garment. This one states like 50 to 70 washes with the Supacolor, and the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse states that it will last the lifetime of the garment. I would say 50 to 70 times to the laundry is about as long as I'm going to get out of a poly cotton shirt. Now what can you apply these to? You can apply them to cotton shirts, cotton poly blends, polyester shirts, basically any combination of those. So it doesn't have to have a specific polyester content like sublimation does. You can just apply this to any type of blend. Now the Supacolor, I am using the version they're calling wearables, which is for cotton, cotton poly blends, polyester. If you want to use Supacolor transfers like on top of something that's already been sublimated, you will need something with a blocker. So keep that in mind. You might need to order a different type of Supacolor transfer, but they have types for that as well. So let's talk sizes. Basically, both of these are a max size of about 11 by 17. So the Supacolor is 11.7 inches by 16.5 inches maximum. The custom heat transfer is 11 by 17 inches. Now, with the Supacolor, they just announced a month ago or so that they now allow ganging. What is that? What does that mean? That means you can order a larger size, and there is a maximum size on ganging, and I won't quote that in this video, but there is a maximum size for gang prints. But you can order, say, this print, which I think is an 8 by 8, something like that. Yeah, I think it's an 8 by 8. And I could put 4 small logos on the 8 by 8. So you can gang your prints, which means cluster them all on one print. So it is something that is beneficial with Supacolor. If you have several small ones, it might be cheaper for you to go the route of a ganged print rather than purchasing several small prints. Now both of these are basically priced by the size. So let's talk pricing really quickly, and then some of the benefits of ordering this custom heat transfer. So pricing, what I did was try to find a similar size in both of these to compare the prices. But like I said, a lot of factors go into the pricing. But this is the closest we're going to get to a price comparison on this one. So what I did is basically priced a 12-inch by 12-inch transfer in both of these. I think one of them was 11.7 by 11.7, but it was as close as I could get. So in the custom heat transfer, that is $8.37 a sheet. And with the Supacolor, it was $15.12 a sheet for something that large. So yes, these are expensive, but the custom heat transfer in that case was almost half the price. So it's definitely a benefit to get the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse. But I did want to mention that with the Supacolor, you can get a sample pack. So if this looks like something you might want to try and you're not sure if you can apply them, because we're going to talk about heat press options in a minute, a sample pack is available with the Supacolor, which might be beneficial for you. So let's talk about the custom heat transfer and ordering options, something I like. So with the custom heat transfer, you're ordering directly from Heat Transfer Warehouse. They have an in-house design team that helps to design your print, which, let me tell you why that's beneficial. So I sent the same file and ordered Supacolor prints and the custom heat transfers from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Heat Transfer Warehouse came back with this, added this white circle, and let me peel back this carrier sheet so you can see. So there's a carrier sheet, peel back from that one so you can more definitely see that there's a white circle behind my logo, which was what was in my vision. Now, when I ordered the same file from Supacolor, I had sent them a file that had a transparent background, so you can see there's no white behind this. So I messed up on this one, and we talked about the pricing. Both of these have a 10-piece minimum purchase. So now I have 10 of these that don't have a white circle on the background, but it was completely my fault. I sent both of these places a file without the white circle, but the in-house design team at Heat Transfer Warehouse caught it for me, fixed it, and sent me the right thing. Supacolor, however, just printed what I sent them. Not their fault, my fault, but I was out that money for these transfers. So what I had to do for the Supacolor is put the white circle myself on the background and order the Supacolor transfers a second time. So totally my fault, but one instance happens to be where the in-house design team at Heat Transfer Warehouse totally saved the day. So that might be another benefit for ordering the custom heat transfers. So now taking a closer look at the custom heat transfer versus the Supacolor, you might notice that one of them has slightly more white around it. That is because always the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse will come with a slight white border around it, no matter what file you send in. That is just a part of their process. Supacolor, however, cuts more exact, so you won't see that white border. So you might want to keep that in mind as well when deciding on your design, as well as which of these will work for you. And I also just wanted to note before we get started, the Supacolor is not sticky on the back, so I found it easier to locate on my shirt. The Heat Transfer Warehouse, I peeled that backer off a few minutes ago, and now it's completely sticky on the back. So similar to the way a HTV would be sticky, and I found that a little bit harder to locate because it is really, really sticky. So just FYI, when you're ordering both, just expect not sticky on the Supacolor, custom heat transfer, sticky on the back, similar to an HTV product, because basically it's a printed HTV. It's just professionally printed instead of printed at home. So now let's look at applying both of these, and I'm gonna apply it to gray shirts as well as pink shirts, and then a very special thing on this green shirt just for you. So let's start with the pink shirts and apply both Supacolor and the custom heat transfers from Heat Transfer Warehouse. So first of all, both of these require heavy pressure. What is recommended is to adjust your heat press where you cannot physically close it and then back it off about half a screw turn each. As soon as you can get it closed, that's the pressure you should use. And now for the Supacolor, I'm going to put the shirt into the press, and you want to put the press inside of the shirt, so you only want one layer of the shirt on top of the heat press if possible. And then I want to pre-press the shirt. So you want to pre-press for at least 5 to 8 seconds at 320 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to pre-press until there's no steam being released from the shirt. So I pre-pressed a couple of times on each of the shirts just to make sure that all the moisture was removed. And I did readjust the shirt after each pre-press to make sure that it was still in the location where I was going to put my transfer. My heat press is only a 9x12 and my transfer is an 8x8, so I do need to be cautious about locating the shirt correctly. Then you're just going to add the Supacolor transfer. Again, there's nothing on the back. You just set it on the shirt in the right location. Put some Teflon over the top, and then we're going to press it at 320 degrees for 12 to 15 seconds. Now this is an immediate peel. As soon as this is done, start peeling back immediately. I like to add a glove to one of my hands. As soon as the press is done, I open it with one hand, remove the Teflon sheet, and start peeling back that carrier sheet that's over the top. Then add your Teflon sheet, and we're going to do a post press. Again, it's at 320 degrees Fahrenheit, this time for 2 to 4 seconds. Once that 2 to 4 second post press is done, I'm able to remove my shirt, and you can see the Supacolor transfer looks amazing on this pink shirt. So now let's try the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse. So this one presses at 320 degrees for just 3 seconds. So I went ahead and readjusted the time on my heat press, even though the temperature was the same. Again, it does need to be preheated. I went ahead and put the shirt over the heat press bottom again, making sure there was just one layer. Then I pre-pressed several times. Again, you just want to make sure there's no steam, no moisture left in the shirt at all. And I am pre-pressing at the 320 degrees Fahrenheit temperature. Once it's preheated, you want to peel back the liner on the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Comes with a liner over the back. You want to remove that completely. Then the back will be sticky. You want to locate that into place. Again, I had kind of a hard time locating those because it is extremely sticky, but I was able to locate it correctly. Once it's located, we're going to press it. Again, it's that same heavy pressure, so I did not adjust the pressure. 320 degrees, just 3 seconds. And again, you have to be ready to immediately peel. So I covered the transfer with Teflon and heated for just 3 seconds. Again, you have to be ready to immediately peel this back. So you need to get ready as you're pressing. I went ahead and tried my glove on this first one. I actually didn't like it. So I opened up the press, removed the Teflon, tried to remove it, hated the glove, ripped it off, and just ripped that carrier sheet off the custom heat transfer. So once that was removed, I added the Teflon, and then you press it 320 degrees for 10 seconds. Then once the press was done, just remove the shirt from your heat press, and this one is ready to go. It looks amazing, and I love the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Now let's take a closer look at both these pink shirts. So they feel basically the same on the surface. The custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse might be a little more stiff than the Supacolor, but they're very, very similar when you feel them. Also, this shirt is 50% polyester, 50% cotton, and you may be able to see a heat press mark on both of these shirts. So it did leave a slight mark with that heat at the time that I had to press it, and it left it on both of them. So even though the custom heat transfer was a shorter time, I still got the heat press mark on my shirt. So now that we're done with these pink shirts, I had to try another color as well, see if those heat press marks get any better, and see if it works just as well. So let's make some gray shirts, which I'm wearing, with the same process. So again, I'm going to do the Supacolor first. The pressure is already set, so I'm going to make sure it's at 320 degrees, and I'm going to up it to 15 seconds. Again, I put the shirt over the platen, pre-press for at least 5 to 8 seconds. I do this a couple times, make sure there's no moisture, no steam coming out. Go ahead and put the Supacolor transfer on, add the Teflon sheet to the top, and press down. This time I press for the full 15 seconds, and as soon as I open it, I need to be ready to peel back the top. Remember, super fast peel for Supacolor. As soon as it's done pressing, lift the heat press. Again, I like my glove for Supacolor. Remove the Teflon, remove the carrier sheet, add the Teflon back, and do a post press, 2 to 4 seconds, and your Supacolor transfer is done. These gray shirts are 50% polyester, 25% cotton, 25% rayon. Then I adjusted the time back down 320 degrees for 3 seconds for the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Again, I put the press over the platen, pre-pressed, this time like 3 seconds, couple times, 2-3 times, just to make sure there's no steam, no moisture. Again, with these heat transfers, you'll need to peel back the backing sheet. It will be sticky. Locate it in the press on your shirt, then add the Teflon sheet over the top, press it for the 3 seconds, and then immediately peel back. This time I didn't even try the glove. I find it works better just without the glove. Once the carrier sheet on the top is removed, add a Teflon sheet over the top, and press at 320 degrees for 10 seconds. Again, I adjusted the time on the heat press before pressing just so I could get that full 10-second press at the end. Then once it's done pressing that second time, you can remove it from your heat press, and this one is done. So let's take a look at the two in comparison. Again, they feel very similar. The Supacolor might be a little bit softer, but very similar in feel. Once again, I do feel like there is a slight heat press mark all the way around where my heat press touched the fabric. So again, with this much pressure and the heat, you probably will get a heat press mark on most fabrics. You might have to play around and see if you can find a fabric or a shirt that can withstand the pressure and the heat without making a heat press mark. So there's my gray shirts, all ready and complete, both with Supacolor as well as the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse. So I do really love both these products. However, you probably would have to work to find a shirt. I will link to everything I'm using below, including the shirts, but these shirts themselves do leave a little bit of a heat press mark, and it may not be noticeable to most people, especially this gray one, but if I'm really looking, I can see the mark. So I just wanted to let you know that so you're not surprised by that when you get your shirts completed at home. So now, I said I had a special surprise for this green shirt over here. I knew there would be questions. So the question I always get is, can I do this with an EasyPress? So I thought I would try. So I had this green shirt because I thought I was gonna mess this shirt up. So I was like, I'm just gonna pull this green shirt out. I'm gonna try them both in the green shirt. I know it's not gonna work, so it's not a big deal. So let's take a look at what actually happened and talk about why you might not want to use your EasyPress with these products. So for the Supacolor, I added an EasyPress mat inside of the shirt, and then I went ahead and preheated. So I had my EasyPress set for 320 degrees, and I preheated my shirt 5 to 8 seconds a couple times. Again, no moisture, no steam in the shirt. Then I added the Supacolor transfer, put some Teflon over the top, and pressed 320 degrees for 15 seconds. I pressed down as hard as I could on my EasyPress this entire time, just to get it to stick as much as possible. Once the 15 seconds was done, again, I did an immediate peel. Set the EasyPress off, peeled back the Teflon, peeled back the carrier sheet, and I was surprised that the Supacolor stuck to my shirt, except for one small area at the top. So one small area around the edge at the top was messed up a little bit. I kind of laid it back down with my finger, put the Teflon sheet over the top, and then did my post press for 2 to 4 seconds, again pressing down as hard as I could. It feels like it's stuck. The entire transfer is stuck down to the shirt. However, I am nervous about that area that is messed up. It is still wrinkled in that area, and I'm nervous about the print itself, whether it would hold up in the laundry. But since that one worked, let's try the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse. So I'm just going to do that on the bottom of the green shirt because, like I said, I didn't plan on these actually working, so I only have one shirt. So I went ahead and pre-pressed it as well, 320 degrees, pre-pressed it a couple times, and then I added the custom transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Again, peeled back the backing, located it into place, didn't worry about the location too much because I'm obviously messing this shirt up. Then I pressed 320 degrees, 3 seconds, pressing down as hard as I could, peeled back immediately on that carrier sheet, and everything stuck and looked really great. I was actually really surprised. Added the Teflon sheet and did my post press for about 10 seconds, pressing down as hard as I could the entire time. And once I was done, I had a shirt that had 2 successful transfers on it. They don't look horrible. They look about the same as on the other shirts. Nothing is peeling up and everything seems to be stuck fine. All right, so let's talk about why I might not do this process. So these transfers are not cheap. So they are pretty expensive, and rightfully so, right? So they're a professional product. They're supposed to last the life of the garment. They're supposed to last the life of the garment when applied correctly. So I'm just afraid without the heavy pressure that it's not going to last and start peeling after a few times through the laundry. So with the EasyPress, if you are just dead set on using the EasyPress for this material, I would definitely test some. Again, that's something that's pretty expensive to do. You might try that sample pack I mentioned from Supacolor. Do a few samples, run them through the laundry 30 so times, and just see if you can get a successful transfer with the EasyPress. Now I know these look successful, but are they truly successful? So that's what I would recommend if you are going to try the EasyPress with either Supacolor or the custom heat transfers from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Now the next question I know you're gonna ask, can you use these with the new Cricut AutoPress? That will be in a future video. So I'm planning a future video with all things that require heavy pressure, and these will be on that. But after the EasyPress experiment, I really do think that the AutoPress is going to be able to handle both the screen print transfer and the custom heat transfer from Heat Transfer Warehouse. I may be surprised, but if you don't subscribe to YouTube, you might never find out. So subscribe to the YouTube channel now so you don't miss that one. Now, if you have any questions about anything we've covered, either the Supacolor or the custom heat transfers from Heat Transfer Warehouse, drop down in the comment section, ask away. If you like this video, if it helped you, give us a thumbs up. And like I said, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You don't want to miss that feature video with that AutoPress, seeing if that works. And of course, we have videos like this all the time, and you don't want to miss any of those. So thank y'all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.